All right. So good morning, everyone with Difference Makers and the Success Training Team. And today I am going to share with you some tips that has helped me to get my business off the ground and running. They are things that I have been doing and have learned myself, and wanted to share some of those things with you guys, and maybe that you can take a few of these things and maybe implement yourself. So my objective today is to basically show you guys how I find some of my prospects using Facebook posts and Facebook Lives, and then the system of plugging them into the ATM groups. And then, of course, after that is, how do you track? What kind of system are you using to track all those people that you're talking to? Because if you've been in a network marketing business before, or even if you're just getting started, a key thing that you have to keep in mind is your fortune's in the follow-up. It is completely in the follow-up. Most people don't purchase on that first interaction you have with them, or even the second, or even the third. Sometimes the average, I think, is closer to 7, 5 to 7 interactions that you're having with them before they purchase. So I wanted to share with you guys then kind of how I go through those things with my, and a kind of like a system that I use to be able to track all that, get them into my system and track all of it. So what I'm going to do right now, let's see, Diane and Bonnie, I, for some reason, can't mute you. Oh, wait, let's see. Now I'm muted. Now I got you muted. Okay, there we go. So we don't have the background. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to start with the type of posts or Facebook Lives that you are going to want to think about when you are looking for prospects or people to talk to and interact with. I found when I made this switch and started implementing some of these things on my Facebook, I started to get people reaching out to me. Who doesn't want people reaching out to you versus you having to go to people? So I'm going to go ahead and screen share right now and show you what that looks like. Now, if you can, hopefully you guys, can you see, give me a thumbs up if you can see my Facebook, my homepage. Can you see that? Yep, okay, good. All right, so the first thing that I have learned that you want to do is, I know this is gonna seem kind of weird for some of you to kind of grasp this, but don't have anywhere on your page saying HempWorks. Do not have the company name on your profile page. You want to be able, let's see, if you want people to start to come to you, you have to create a reason and that curiosity for them to come to you. If they see you have HempWorks on there, then they can Google and research this on their own. There's no reason for them to reach out to you and talk to you about it. So one tip that I was taught was to remove anything that said my company name on there. Unless you have gotten extremely established, like when you've hit that 100K mark or that 250K mark, then you could probably get by with having your brand name on there, because you've already established yourself as a top person in that company, and you can get by with having it displayed on your page. But for the rest of us that are starting out and getting going, it is not recommended to do that. So I took off. I stick to who I am, which is essentially somewhat of your brand. And I'm not going to really get into branding, but basically branding is, describing who you are. And I am a wife. I'm a mom and stepmom. So blended families will connect with me sometimes. I'm in the health and fitness industry. I've been a trainer, group fitness instructor for 22 years, and also a nutrition specialist. I love wine. It's my only vice. And I am fighting autoimmune diseases. So not just one, but 4. So those are the things right there initially in my intro on my page that describe me, who I am, and those essentially are the things that I share about on my page. So there's nothing in there that says I work at HempWorks. There's nothing in there that says what level I am with HempWorks. There's none of that, all right? So then we go into your posts, and let's see, I'm gonna scroll, and there was one I wanted to, actually, I think I saved it. Let me see if I can, I think I saved it so I could go to it quicker for you guys today. Bear with me. All right, yes, I did save it. All right, so this is a post I did. Now, as you are starting to work with starting to work your business and you are getting a few clients, oh my gosh, you guys, get testimonials from them. Get testimonials from them. This was a testimony from a friend of mine who was a complete skeptic, and he gave me the rundown of how this has been working for him. And then what I did is I went back and I shared, and this is what I talked about. I said, you want to have a tagline. You want to have something that catches the people's eyes. Are you guys seeing this post? Yep, okay. So you want to have something that catches their eyes, that's going to make them stop and want to read what you have to say. So this is what I wrote: from skeptic to full-on believer. So some people are going to want to stop and see, okay, what was this person a skeptic about, and why are they a believer? And again, I know what this has done for me, but it's when you start sharing what it's doing for other people. And I said, it's not too often you hear a 50-year-old say they feel like they're in their 20s again. So we do want to feel young and vibrant and energetic. And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to create that emotion. You're trying to tap into what your demographic struggles with. My demographics in the 50s struggle with just aging and the effects of aging and pain and joint pain and moving around. So I'm trying to tap into that, being 50 and feeling like you're 20 again. And then he goes on to talk about how he's lived with anxiety all his life, and the mental fog has finally lifted, and he's finally feels like he's being able to kind of connect to his own self. And so I also plug in there to let them know how many of us have dealt with similar ailments, with anxiety, with that feeling of being disconnected, people not really understanding. Because that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to speak to that person out there who can relate to this. And I want them to know that they're not alone. And I hope this message gives them a sense of hope, because life can be better. And all I do is I run a little hashtag CBD for the win. I don't tell them, message me if you want to learn more. I don't tell them, join me. I don't tell them, buy my product. I don't tell them there's a sale going on. All I'm doing is giving a shout out to a friend who this has been able to change their life. That's it. And then from that, I'm going to take the people that have commented on this and the people that have liked the post, and I'm going to reach out to them in a message. And that's what I'm going to do if they haven't messaged me. So believe it or not, I did get people that messaged me from that post. And then the other people that are from that post, I'm actually going to send them a message out that says basically, hey, thank you for the love you've given to my page. I noticed you liked the post I did about my friend Chris using CBD oil. Have you had a chance to try it yourself yet? And that's it. And so I'm opening up that conversation to get started, wondering if they've even tried it, or have you heard about this yet? So it's pretty, that's the kind of simple piece. But there's no law, you want to create that curiosity. So next up, let's see here. I've got someone still. There we go. I think I got it muted. So now what I want to do is I want to share another thing I did is Facebook Lives. You can get so much traction from your Facebook Lives. That is a thing that it's not that I was even nervous about doing Facebook Lives, but I don't know. It just wasn't, I felt like my forte, and I really had to push myself to start doing them. And really simply all I've been doing in my Facebook Lives is using it as a means of educating people, because there's a lot of people out there that have no idea about CBD. They mistake it for marijuana. They have no idea how this can help so many different ailments. So I started doing Facebook Lives that's teaching them and educating them on CBD, the difference between CBD, the plant that it's coming from, hemp, versus marijuana, was one Facebook Live I did. Another live I did was how to take the CBD oil and the key things to make sure that you're doing to get the most effectiveness from it. The other Facebook Live I did was the difference between the isolate and full spectrum. So, and that was my most recent one, was the difference between the isolate and full spectrum. Then it was sharing, again, the more you can share even the people's experience and ignite that emotional side of what it's been able to do, I think those are the ones that have gotten the most feedback from. And I shared mine, a Facebook Live about my daughter, Sydney. She's 23, suffers from some of the same autoimmune diseases that I deal with. And they were wanting to put her on prescription pain meds, addictive ones. And I was wanting nothing for her to do with that. She's only 23. And this was the solution that I tried myself first before because I wanted to make sure it worked, and then passed it on to her. And so it was sharing what it's done for her. And that the angle that I used from that is being that mom and dad, the mom and dads out there who you want your kids to be healthy. You want your kids to thrive and be successful. And you want your kids to be happy. And so when you're seeing your kids struggling from health ailments, you want to do all you can to take it all away and find that fix for them. So I shared that in a Facebook Live of what it felt like as a mom to be able to come up with a solution for her that the doctors couldn't even figure out. Well, they could figure it out, but they wouldn't go that route. But I found something that could go that route, and the relief that she's getting now from using CBD oil. So hopefully these are giving you guys some ideas on how to present yourself on your Facebook page, because that's where you're going to start getting that curiosity attraction. People want to know, okay, it's CBD oil, but what one? And now that's what I want to bring you to. The next one now is scripts. So again, give me a thumbs up to make sure that you can see my messenger. Okay, great. So the scripts that I'm using. some of the things that I'm using in conversation to get these guys going and started and plugging them into now a system. Because guess what? You and I do not have the time to sit there and explain this to everyone. You do not have the time to do that. Some of us may not even know all the education on how it pertains to each ailment or illness that people are dealing with. It's virtually impossible to learn how this can help every single person with a certain disease or, like I said, health issue they're dealing with. So it's so incredibly important to me to plug them into that ATM system. Why? Because that, like I said, it's going to save you time. It's going to save you time of having to explain. We don't all have that amount of time in the day. We're busy moms. We have other jobs, things going on, and we want to have a personal life. The thing is with the ATM system, it's duplicatable. It's duplicatable because guess what? When you plug people into that system, and then now they've got other people who want to learn more about this, you let them know exactly what to do. Hey, Paula, I'm so excited you have a friend that wants to learn more about this. All you need to do is exactly what I did with you. Add them to that group and take them in a couple of those videos that you thought, were really important that they could, need to know. And so you're already teaching them how to duplicate what you just did by having them plug their people into the system as well. And then on top of it, that ATM, it has testimonies. So if you search on the side, you can find a couple testimonies that pertain to that potential prospect's illness or ailment, and you take them in that as well. So you take them in a couple of videos, you take them in a couple posts that pertain to exactly what they're looking for. And you need to ask the question, what are you looking to use this for? Because if you don't know what they're using it for, you can't plug them into a couple of those key posts from testimonials to be able to help them out. So make sure you know it is what they're wanting to use that for, to be able to, like I said, take them in that group. But I want to take you through the process with Paula here, because I felt like she this is not how easy it always goes, but this is pretty darn close to how I do it and how it's been going for me. So Paula, she actually reached out to me from that Facebook Live. This is a friend that I have back in Minnesota, and she knows my daughter. Our daughters are the same age. I haven't talked to her probably in about 7 months, and she actually reached out to me from this post or that Facebook Live. She was wanting some more information on the CBD oil because guess what? I didn't tell her what brand I was using. So she's curious to know what one I'm using, all right? That's why they're reaching out to you right now. They want to know what one you use and why. So I already thanked her for reaching out to me and letting her know that I want to share more about it. And so I asked her, what are you looking to use this for so I can point you into the right resources? Again, what are you looking to use it for so I can point you to the right resources? All right, so she goes on to tell me she deals with fibromyalgia too, and she's got some really bad arthritis. And I know her daughter suffers from anxiety. So I'm tapping into that as well. Then I go on and I tell her I'm sorry that she's having to go through that. You want to acknowledge what it is they just got done telling you and not just all of a sudden vomit all over them about your product. So you want to acknowledge the strength that they're going through right now. And I'm acknowledging that the struggle with her fibromyalgia, the pain that she is possibly dealing with. I know what that's like. So I can basically connect with her on that level. And then I went on to let her know that, hey, by the way, I just added you to this group. So I don't just add them to the group, tag them in the posts, in the videos, and leave it. I go back and I let them know this is what I did. I added you to that group. I've tagged you in a couple videos or posts, and then I let them know, don't be afraid to check out more posts in the group, that there's incredible stories in there. And then I try to give an option of when is a good time to circle back around with you. And then also give them a little, by the way, it's a super busy group, because I want them to know there's a ton of people in there checking this out, and that they may want to turn off the notifications because it can be a lot. So she lets me know that it may take her a little while to get through this. So that is fine. I set a date and that was on August 23rd. So I gave her, she said it could take her a while. So I gave it about a week. Actually, it was about 6 days. And this is the script I use to follow up with her. Good morning, Paula. I hope you're having a great start to your day. I kind of have a busy day myself, but I wanted to make sure I didn't drop the ball and circle back around with you. But letting them know, you've already said you were going to circle back, and you want to let them know, hey, I'm busy too. I'm a busy person too, but I want to make sure that I'm getting back to you. And just say, curious, what did you like about what you saw in the videos I tagged you in the CBD oil? What did you like about what you saw? Because you're wanting to get feedback on if there's things that are making sense to them. Is it are they getting the information? Is it educational? Are they learning from it? And which she has. She responded, she has. And she asked me then, and this is seriously typically what I get at this point, what is the next steps to be if I would like to try it? Like literally after I follow up, that's what they're asking me. What are my next steps to get this in my hands? So that's when I give them my link and the recommendation of what to start with. So I typically mostly, I know she works in the school systems, and I'm not sure if they do have the drug testing, but I let her know which one to start with. But I told her if, that's just to let her know that the original does have a minute amount, but if she's not worried about that, then that's definitely, and I put definitely in caps, where you want to start with that one if you're not worrying about a drug test of it showing up. So she never ordered. That was on August 29th. And so she didn't order. Usually I wait 2 days, but it looks like I only did 1 day on this. Usually I'll wait 2 days, and I'll just go back. Just checking to see if you have any more questions on the link I sent. So, because I want to make sure that it's making sense, that they're finding what they need on there. And she says, thanks so much for the follow-up. I may still have some questions, but I will let you know. And then I basically let her know from that. It's like, no problem. I'm here for you. I plan to help and guide you all along the way. Because I want her to know this just isn't a sales transaction for me. This is me truly wanting to help her. So that's August 30th. She still has not ordered. She still has not ordered. And how many times has that happened to us? They are sitting with our link and they're not doing anything. So this is something that I learned. This is a strategy I learned from it's called Rank Makers. It's a group that I'm in that's teaching me how to network market on social media the right way. And typically most of us would go in and follow up and say, hey, just checking to see if you still planned on ordering. And when you have made connections with someone and it's a week or so that's gone by and they still have not ordered, the last thing you want to be doing is like, hey, are you going to order, or some sort of check-in that has to do with them ordering. So this is the tip that I was showed, is basically just to check in and see how they're doing. And sometimes I'll say is, if it's been a significant amount of time, I might say, hey there, Paula, I am so sorry. I haven't gotten back to you. It's been a while since I've gotten back to you. We were in Mexico and we just finally have gotten back and are trying to get into the swing of things. Hold on. So then, and it will say, why, and I just said, why is it always so hard when you're coming back from vacation to get back on track? And then I asked her, how was your holiday weekend? Or if it was just a random, even if it wasn't a holiday weekend, I might just say, how are you doing? And I kind of put it on me like, I'm sorry I haven't gotten back to you kind of situation. So she's let me know it's been busy. She's had a ton of things. They were getting school started. She's in Minnesota. They start after Labor Day. So she was trying to get a lot of things set up and going for that. She let me know she is ordering. And so I told her I was excited to get her started. Once she placed that order, that was on September 9th, then the next day I sent her the information on the servings and how to get started. And then from there, now I'm going into the follow-up process as a customer. Did it arrive? Have you started taking it yet? Going through and then checking in 3 to 4 days after they started using it. Have you noticed any changes yet? If not, then I'm telling them to bump up their dosage. Or to, and I'm going back to reiterate some of the things they need to be doing, like making sure they're holding it under their tongue long enough, making sure they are not eating or drinking. But she's already started to see a few things take place here, but she hasn't quite reached her sweet spot. So what I've done with her then is I said, that's great to hear you are seeing improvements. It sounds though like you haven't quite reached your sweet spot. If you haven't already, because I've already kind of guided her to increase again, but I said, if you haven't already increased to 10 drops, haven't already do that, increase to 10 drops morning and night. But if you have, then go to 15. And then I follow up too, because I want her to know this just isn't about sales. And with this is my hometown 2 days ago got hit by tornadoes, 2 tornadoes. And so I wanted to follow up and to make sure that everything has been going okay with her family and that I'm thinking of them. Because I wanted her to know that this is more than just, me helping her with CBD oil, that I truly care of what's going on with her and her family and with things in her life. So that is the script that takes place and how I take someone from watching a Facebook Live into plugging them into a system of the ATM and then using different follow-up scripts. And if you notice, I used a few follow-ups here to reach out to her, to get that link to her and continue that follow-up. So now what I want to do is I want to show you real quick the tool that I use to track all my customers, because if you think you're going to be able to remember all this stuff up here, it's not going to happen. You have to have a system of being able to do that. And so now I'm going to switch over the screen share to the system that I use. And this system is called STREAK. It's in Google Chrome. It's free. I'm all about free. And it looks like I've only got about 6 minutes left, so I'm going to make this quick. Please give me a thumbs up that you can see the Google Chrome STREAK. Can you see that? It's okay. Okay, great. Thank you. So what this is, it's a pipeline. It's a pipeline. And I'm not going to go into how to set up the pipeline. You can simply YouTube how to use Google STREAK, and there's going to be videos on there that will show you exactly how to set up STREAK and your pipelines that best suit you. So in my pipeline, I have for HempWorks, I have new contacts. These are people that I'm talking to coming off of posts and videos. Then I'm adding value to them. So then I might be tagging them or commenting on some of their posts, or maybe sending them some information, just trying to create more value in their life if they have not given me the go-ahead to add them into any sort of Facebook group. Starting the combo means I literally have, let's see if I can do this, I literally have had said or have talked about or started talking about CBD oil with them. Then the next one is sent the video. So if they're not on Facebook, I'll email them. So I'll email them videos from our testimonies page, our ATM page, or I'll plug them into our ATM group. So they'll go into this category here when I've done that. Then I start my follow-up. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 follow-ups that I do. Then if I need to get on a call with them, I have a call category. If I sent them a link, then they go move into that next category. And as you can see, I've got 70 people sitting with my link right now. I've got a shit ton of follow-ups to be doing this next few weeks because I haven't pulled the trigger yet. And then I've got not now and no's. And the no's could be people that are already using CBD oil or they're already CBD oil distributors for a different brand. But literally what I do is you can create your columns. And so you can set your follow-up and it will allow you to go from oldest to newest. So now I can look at and I can go in and I can see who I'm supposed to contact. And I've got today, this is who are the people. There's September 22nd. They're my follow-up one. And I'm going back to contact them and use where, depending on where they are with their scripts, I'm going to send them another message. And this one will probably be, because they've already seen the video, I have different little things that I send my little notes. So it says, any questions? So these people, basically I'm sending them the script to see if they have any questions yet about the Facebook group and the information that I tagged them in. That's what I'm gonna be reaching out to some of those people and saying today. These people I've already done that with, as you can see. I've already used that script with them, and I've got all these people to reach out to today as well. And now I'm checking in to see how things are going, because a lot of these people, most likely it's from September 12th, have not responded to me. These people have not responded to me. So this is where I'm going back in and I'm going to say, hey, I'm so sorry. I haven't followed. It's been a while since I've connected with you. I apologize. Things have been crazy busy with family, kids, work, and helping people get started with their oils. I want to see though, how is everything going with you? That's the script I'm going to be using with those. These people, I'm going to be probably using another script. If I've checked in with them and they haven't responded, I'm going to say, hey, I sent you a couple messages. Is everything okay? So that is kind of what I use to be able to track my people and follow up. And then it also rolls over, and I'm cutting down there in time here, with my customers. So I'm tracking my customers and following up with them and trying to eventually get a testimonial. So I am literally down to less than a minute here. And this is going to cut off on me, but hopefully that gave you guys some good ideas on how to get started with your Facebook posts, get those prospects going, plug them into that ATM group, and then potentially maybe use this Google Streak as a system of tracking. So you're following up and reaching out and being able to get that fortune that can take place, when they finally maybe order. So, all right. If you have more questions, I don't have time to answer, but when I post the recording in the group, you can totally put your questions below that and I can try and answer them in the group. Sound good? All right, so I know I'm gonna be literally cut off, so I'm gonna stop the recording.